Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Matt. Welcome back to Kings of Crypto. And man, it has been a really long time since I made a video on this channel, but we're back, man. We're back. I've still been trading, still been doing my thing with crypto. Just haven't been into it on YouTube as much in the past year or so, man. It's been a while. And it's just been a big journey over the past few months, especially with some of the momentum that we've been seeing. So I wanted to fill you guys in on what's going on with XRP. That's one of my main holdings right now. XRP, as well as, of course, Shiba Inu, Ethereum, Solana, just covering all the bases as best we can. So without further ado, just jumping back into it, man. If we take a look at what is going on today, kind of in, I would say, more of a stalemate over the past few weeks here. There hasn't been any crazy movement, but I do think things will be changing relatively soon in the near future, especially, of course, as we gear up for quarter four. There's just something so interesting about quarter four, particularly every year around crypto, and it just really does give us a lot of opportunity here to make some gains, especially if we jump in when things are kind of at a lower level. So again, if we look at the bubbles today, nothing super crazy. Aster is down a good amount. Jupiter as well is down considerably today. Nothing really in the green that's overly noteworthy to think about. Solana itself kind of down. Doge. I mean, just the whole market all around on the whole is not doing particularly hot, and that's just something that we've had to kind of deal with for a little while at this point. But if we are to take a look at just the total market right now, you see the market cap is down slightly today, 3.87 trillion, with the fear and greed index here at around 43. So not great, not terrible. And again, just kind of determining that all crypto on the whole is just a little bit oversold. But again, if we look at XRP in the grand scheme over the past week or so, doesn't really crack any of the top trends, as in going down a whole lot over the past week or going up. It's pretty much just been kind of level. So if we take a look at what XRP has been doing here, $2.82 as of right now. And again, when you compare this to what we were seeing back like early September, it's just a little bit lower. It's just a little bit lower. And again, really compared to some of the main surges we saw back in July when we were, potentially in the realm of reaching around $4, it's kind of a letdown. It is kind of a letdown. And again, a lot of people are sort of kind of confused as to why XRP is down and why this might be kind of a problem as of now. Well, there are a few announcements that I think are worth looking at that I want to show you guys that might change what you think to an extent. So if you guys haven't seen this already, this is Tether just bought 8,888 Bitcoin worth $1 billion in the third quarter of this year, which is just absolutely insane. That is a huge investment, and as a stable coin, trusting Tether to do this is a pretty big deal. That means they obviously saw some potential and saw that this would be a good time to hop in, because if you really compare XRP now, even over the past year, it's really not gonna go much lower than this, in my personal opinion. I don't really see a scenario in which XRP goes down, given that since literally December, we've been holding around 230, 240. So could we slip slightly a little bit more? Maybe, but I don't think so. And again, if you really compare that just to what we saw all of 2023, 24, I mean, this was just dismal, man. This was dismal. And we're really seeing close to around 2017, 2018 highs here. Back in 2018, we saw a high of 330. So we did surpass that all-time high, which was very cool to see. And if we continue to look at even some more news here that I wanted to show you guys briefly, the SEC is also considering allowing stocks to trade on-chain with a plan to launch quickly, which would be very cool. Would be very good for crypto if that was the case. Now, when we take a look at TradingView, we kind of go through our numbers here. If you look, maybe over the past, if you look over the past week or two, you don't really see that much information that's all that useful. But if you look at, sort of like the long term, and we kind of draw just a little bit of our points out here long term, you might notice something kind of interesting, and that is that this kind of looks like a descending wedge. I mean, roughly, is it absolutely perfect? Is it perfectly the shape? No. But if you notice, if you look long term, it kind of looks like we're going to be consolidating in this one region here. And again, I think that does make a pretty big difference. So again, it kind of looks like we're going to be hanging out in, the 270 to 290 range, hopefully for the foreseeable future, just gaining some stability there before we potentially see a breakout. And again, it's nice to look long term at these trends because, again, there's no way really to know in the course of a month or the course of, a very short period of time. There really is no way to know what the long-term trends are, what the long-term data really says. So again, if we cut out 2025, the very beginning of 25, if we just look from July up until now, this is a very clear descending wedge. And again, if we could just hold some stability here between 270 and 290, that would be probably a very good idea. And I'm not even against the premise of holding stability there just throughout the month of October, just to gain some legs. Because again, remember, when these things are very volatile, when we hang out in a region like this 2.7, 2.8 for a short period of time, your stability is going to go down. So there's a lot less confidence, there's a lot less stability. But if XRP just confidently bounces between these highs and lows for a very, very considerable amount of time, then it's like, okay, our breakout is ready. We've earned our breakout, right? Whereas if we don't earn that and we just kind of explode from 2.7 to 4 like overnight, that becomes a lot more sketchy to a lot of people. They feel like, okay, hey, that's a lot more of a pump and dump kind of deal. People get a lot less enthusiastic about that. And again, just to look at a few things, if we were to take a look at the RSI here as well, the Relative Strength Index, you guys know I always like to do this. We're at a pretty good range. And again, you guys can see back in mid-July where there was a lot of that sort of overselling. There was a little bit too much, overbuying, a little too much overzealous enthusiasm towards buying XRP. And there just wasn't enough support. There wasn't enough legs. So then you see that sharp decline here back in late July. But we've been kind of bouncing around this territory. We haven't exceeded 70 and haven't really gone below 30, which is a pretty big deal because it means that there has been a comfortable ratio of buying and selling. It's not dramatically overbought and it's not dramatically oversold. So that's just a pretty big deal. And again, if we take a look at what this XRP sort of analyst whale said, the idea is that they could move up to 420 sometime soon here, at least in the near future, saying it was rejected at 295, which it was. If we take a look back at our data again, you can see that right as it creeps up on 2.95, 3, you see it start to head back down again. But if it keeps getting rejected there, eventually it could move up to 4.2, which is exactly what this analyst is saying here. And they just mentioned that it bounced off its 2.7 support, rising as much as 8.5% to a high of 2.92 on Monday. Giving back some of its gains included profit booking on the short rally. However, a strong technical setup and whale activity suggest that the pair is primed for a trend reversal towards $4, which is absolutely awesome. So again, it really does make a difference as to whether or not the whales that are holding these tokens are actually jumping in now or not, because that does sort of influence the flow of buying. So that's just a few things to consider right now, at least. Again, very exciting stuff coming soon for crypto. We've been waiting long enough. A lot of you guys have been waiting years. It's a pleasure to be back with you guys on YouTube. It's been a while since I've been here and been doing this with you guys, but I truly do hope you guys enjoyed, found this useful, and believe me, I'll be back a lot more soon. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.